Here we are at Call and Contact Centre Expo 2019, and I'm in another section of the Avaya village, and I'm joined by Natalie and Matt and Kimberly. Thank you. What's this demo we're looking at, Natalie?
Yeah, so this demo is essentially all about the customer journey. So ideally what it's doing is it's taking all the different touch points that a customer may have over the customer journey and bringing them together into a complete, seamless, connected, intelligent experience. And so what we've done is we've actually infused some of the key channels and capabilities and trends that we see happening in the marketplace that are impacting on organizations today. So within this demonstration, you will see a blending of physical and digital channels seamlessly to bring in people at the right time, but also to make sure that you're accommodating digital channels, particularly those new channels like the conversational voice interfaces and text interfaces. So you will see voice integration here, whereby customers can use natural language to talk to devices such as Alexa, and to speak to things such as virtual assistants to help them with their customer service. You will also see artificial intelligence here doing certain things like making self-service seamless, helping to decide where to route any particular contact to, and also to bring insights to the agent, to the organization, so that they can deal with that customer proactively and make sure that the customer is getting the best possible service. And then finally, what you'll see in this demonstration as well is integration into the back office. Because what we've seen is, in many cases, the customer experience is impacted very significantly when the back office doesn't deliver what it needs to deliver. And in fact, it's actually the second biggest contributor towards customer satisfaction. Because as we know, today we can purchase something at the click of a button on a website, but if it's still going to take days or weeks for that item to arrive, and when it does arrive, it's broken, or you don't know how to use it, or you need to return it, and you then have to go through that whole very laborious process of doing that, that can absolutely break the customer experience. So what we've done is we've brought back office seamlessly integrated into the contact center, making it very easy for contact center agents to be able to get assistance from the back office as and when they need it, finding the right person with the right expertise, and then making sure that that person is available and seamlessly bringing them in to the interaction, even though they may be using a different unified communication capability or application.
Okay, well, let's just have a look and see if we can get it in action.
Perfect. Okay, so there are actually 4 different personas within this demonstration. I'm going to play the role of the customer. For the purpose of this demo, I've got Kimberly, who's going to be playing the role of the agent, and then Matt is going to be wearing 2 hats. He's going to be both the supervisor and our back office expert. So we're going to start off with an insurance scenario, and this is a customer of an organization called Beyond Bank. An existing customer who is looking for a car loan to finance a new car that they're purchasing. And they've been looking around a little bit. They're sitting at home in the comfort of their lounge. They have an Alexa device next to them, and they want to start the interaction using Alexa. So they're going to ask Alexa about the current car loan rates with Beyond Bank. Alexa, open Beyond Bank.
Welcome to Beyond Bank. Please tell me your username.
My username is Bob.
Thank you. A 4-digit verification code has been sent to your mobile. Please read out the code.
1234.
Thank you, Bob. You are now verified. How can I help?
What are the current car loan rates?
For existing Beyond Bank customers, we can offer rates from as low as 4.5%. Would you like to speak to an advisor about your options?
Yes. So at this point, what is happening is a seamless transfer.
So effectively, you've been talking to your Alexa, you've spoken to your Alexa without any human, and now it's gone straight to the contact center.
Absolutely, because as a customer, I've now decided at this point, I want to speak to an agent to help me further in this interaction. So it's coming through to Kimberly on her workspace.
So once I accept this interaction, it then goes through to the customer's phone, and they can then accept that call. what we can see here is it's a new customer. We don't have a lot of information on it. But if we go here, we can see that the Alexa has pushed some of the details onto the contact center. So I, as an agent, can see the name of the customer. I can see the general intent that he's expressed to his Alexa. And I've got some very basic contact details.
So it's already pulling that context through in the process?
Exactly, yeah. And I can then use this to start helping him out straight away. And also the verification questions have already been completed by the Alexa, so there's no need to go through any of those standard identity verifications again.
Yeah, so at this point the customer says, you know what, I'm quite interested in the loan, but I need some time to think about it, so I want to speak to you later. Is that possible? And the agent at this point goes, yeah, absolutely. Once this interaction is finished, you're going to get an SMS pushed to your mobile phone. In that, you are able to go into your mobile application, click on a button, initiate a video call, and you'll be able to talk to me when you're ready to go through the details of the loan, and we'll be able to set it up there and then. So that's what the customer does at this point.
Okay.
So later in the day, as the customer, I've looked at the different rates and I've decided that actually this is a great rate and I want to go ahead with starting up the loan. So what I'll do is I'll go to my mobile application, my Beyond Bank application, and there are different options for me here to interact with Beyond Bank. But because the SMS said start a video, because that's the best way to go about setting up a car loan, because I need to do things like know your customer from a legislation and regulation perspective. Video is very good for being able to do that. So in this instance, I'm going to click on the video button. Instantly, that is going to initiate a video call for me. So you can see I've set up my video. You can see.
I can indeed.
Excellent. And what that's now going to do is it's going to then initiate a call into the contact center with Kimberly.
So that comes through here, and once I enable the video, that's then going to use the camera up here, and we're now in video contact.
Okay, right. So yeah, we're fully connected through with video into the contact center. And so that would allow you to continue your contact center interaction?
Absolutely. So at this point, we're able to go through all the things that we need to do. We may need to upload some documents and share some stuff. We can do all of that through this interaction. And at the end of the day, you're able to close the interaction, complete the transaction with a happy customer. So at the end, we can complete it, and immediately we get a customer satisfaction survey, push to the customer to complete it and say, yeah, absolutely brilliant service. Thank you very much, Beyond Bank. So what we've just gone through is seeing how you can use some of these new conversational interfaces that are supported with virtual assistants and artificial intelligence to front end the interaction, then seamlessly hand that over into the contact center with all the available context, all the available information to make the job really easy for the agent to be able to pick up that interaction and continue it with the customer. We've made it really easy for the customer to be able to stop and start that interaction at any point in time.
And in the medium that they want to continue the communication with.
Absolutely, and we've done all of that from the comfort of their own home. So that's great. Customer now has their car loan. What happens next is they realize going into their application that in actual fact the payment date on which the loan's going to come out is a few days before they get paid. Now, if you're anything like me that spends a lot of money,
that's a disaster.
Absolutely, you want to make sure that that payment is going to go out as close as possible to the date that you get paid. So the customer then says, you know, I need to get this changed. So can't do it on the application, so I need to speak to someone at the bank. I get a list of options within the application, different interaction channels that I can use. You can see they color-coded, and in this instance, one of them is highlighted as blue, and that's because what it's doing is it's using all available information to understand what this contact, who this customer is, what the contact may be about, and then the best possible channel for that customer to contact the organization at that point in time. And at this point, it's saying that actually chat is the best way for me to contact the organization. So I'm going to initiate the web chat. And what you can see here is I've now been brought into a web chat with a chatbot called Ava. However, I'm actually a French speaker. as my natural home language is French, so I want to interact with the chatbot over my language of choice. No problem at all. I can now actually interact with the chatbot, and the chatbot will be able to translate and talk to me in whatever language of my choice. So I will now show you my command in the French language. Bonjour. And what you can see here is the translation is happening as we're talking. At some point in time, I can transact backwards and forwards with the chatbot, but at some point in time, I decide that I need to speak to an agent. So I escalate seamlessly into the contact center. However, the only agent that is available happens to be an English-speaking agent. Absolutely not a problem, because what happens here is the translation enables the agent to be able to read what has happened in the web chat beforehand in English, and I'm able to make sure that I get the customer through to an agent without them having to wait for an in-language speaker to become available. So the contact has now come through to Kimberly in the contact center.
So I'm now in touch with the customer. I can look back and I can see all the previous interactions that we've had with the chatbot. I can see this is the chatbot, here is the customer. So I've got all that initial discovery that's already been made. In this situation, I'm not necessarily skilled to be able to complete the payment date change that he needs. So I'm going to ask him to wait while I reach out to an expert. And then what we have here is a UC widget that's embedded within Oceana Workspaces. So I can reach out to our expert here and ask him to help out. Maybe there's a fee for the change that I don't know about, or something else, and he needs to assist me here. So in this case, Matt is our expert, and he has his phone there.
And then we fire through to Matt, who's playing the role very, very capably of an expert in this.
I am here. So I am an expert in the back office rather than the contact center, and I'm actually someone who's on the road a lot, but I can interact with the agents here. I'm using our UC client Equinox to speak with our agent via instant messaging, and I've got this message through now from Kimberly, our agent, and I can assist her in my expert knowledge and help her out in answering the queries that she's got there.
So what you've effectively done there is you've gone from contact center to back office seamlessly.
Yes, that's right, yeah. So I'm using my expertise, not being an agent myself, but being someone who's on the road. I can support the agent and the customer experience too.
And Natalie, that was, a very smooth procedure, considering we're going through several different elements within a business.
Yeah, absolutely. So in this instance, what Kimberly was able to do, because she didn't actually know whether there was a charge associated with making a change to a payment date, she was able to reach out to the right person. So it's context aware, first of all. Depending on the nature of the conversation that has been had with me, the customer, it's able to say which people in the back office have the expertise to be able to address this particular query. Not only that, but Kimberly was also able to see the presence. So they knew that person was, first of all, at work, because normally they go to Betty in billing, and Betty in billing is on leave this week. So, now they've got to find someone else. So they've found someone who is available, and they're able to interact with them immediately to bring them into that interaction. So they're not saying to the customer, sorry, I'm going to have to phone you back with an answer to that. So the interaction continues between the back office expert and the agent, who now then has to relay the really bad news to me that there's going to be a £50 fee associated with making a change to the payment date. I'm obviously, as a customer, absolutely furious about that, because I think that's a complete rip-off. So I'm going to actually say this service is rubbish. That is terrible. I'm not happy, and it's a very bad service. What that then does is, because of the speech and text analytics that we have integrated into the solution, is it then actually immediately triggers a notification through to Kimberly's supervisor.
And I believe, Matt, in your multi-talented acting role, you now take the position of supervisor in this.
Yep, that's right. So I'm now a supervisor. I'm here working in the same kind of desktop interface as my agent here, but I have a few more tools up my sleeve. One of them is I can see the actual real-time sentiment analysis of my agents. That can be on voice interactions using speech analytics. In this case, we're actually analyzing text base. So from the web chat from our customer, I can see here that the customer just mentioned a very bad service. And because of that, obviously as a supervisor, I don't want a bad service, so I'm going to go into my messaging application and tell my agent Kimberly here, we want to make the customer happy, we can waive the fee. So if I send that to my agent here, then we can actually make sure that the customer experience is maintained, and we want to make that customer happy in the end.
And Kimberly, that's come back to you. So and you haven't referred anything to your supervisor effectively. The system has just picked up the tone and the sentiment analysis of Natalie's. Frankly, she was very annoyed with the service, and that's flagged to you straight away, so you know you can waive the fee.
Exactly, yeah. So we've just managed to make that whole process really proactive and really seamless. So now, without me having to necessarily do much, I can now tell our customer that we can waive that fee to try and make them happy.
And Natalie, I mean, not only are you going to be very pleased you don't have to pay the £50 fee, but you're also pleased that the demo, as you said, showed those different 4 elements seamlessly throughout a business from the front end right to the back end.
Absolutely. So it's basically leveraging the power of all the capabilities available to us today: artificial intelligence, machine learning, analytics, whether that be speech-based, whether it be text-based, taking context, being able to apply that in real time into the interaction, being able to reach out to the back office regardless of the fact that the back office is using a different communication application to what the front office is using, and bringing all of that to bear so that the customer really does get a connected, seamless experience. And we're able to take what potentially was a bad experience because they were going to get charged a fee to make a payment a date change to something very, very positive. So a great way of being able to bring all these different channels, and importantly the different resources in the organization, to bear at the right time to deliver the right customer service.
Well, Natalie and Matt and Kimberly, thank you so much for taking us through it.
Thank you very much.